All right. Okay, so good morning. Um, Let me introduce first myself. I am Camilla Jane Agawin Pawar. I am grateful for this opportunity to speak with you today about the specific learning disability. When you hear these words, learning disability, what comes to your mind? For me, every time I hear these words, it is like the weakness of the person. So today, I am happy to share with you this additional knowledge, the specific learning disability. In general term, it describes specific kinds of learning problems which can cause a person to have trouble in learning certain things. This lesson addresses skills that are most often affected, such as reading, writing, listening, speaking, reasoning, and calculating. Learning disability varies from each other. One person with learning disability may not have the same learning disability to another person. Example, if I have learning disability of expressing my thoughts, while the others may struggle in reading, writing, and etc. Specific learning disability defines by a disorder in one or more of basic psychological process involved in understanding or using spoken or written language. This disorder may manifest itself in an imperfect ability to listen, think, read, write, spell, and or to perform mathematical calculations. The term includes such conditions as perceptual impairments, brain injury, minimal brain dysfunction, and developmental aphasia. The term does not include learning problems which are primarily the result of visual, hearing, or motor impairments, intellectual disabilities, emotional disturbance, or emotional or environmental, cultural, or economic disadvantage. A person with a specific learning disability or SLD are those who struggle to think, read, and write, as what it is mentioned above. In every day of our life, we encounter so many people we know who struggled in learning. According to my experience, I've been around with children at church, especially where I used to teach them, and found out there are some who have problems in reading and writing, even their names. And even my son is struggling to say a word to everyone he meets. In television, I had seen that there are some experience in a car accident and their brain is damaged. Due to complication, it made him difficult to think well, and even speaking. So that has sad story, so sad story. To determine the existence of a specific learning disability, the following must be present. So the first one, it says here, does not achieve at a proper age and ability levels in one or more several specific areas when provided with appropriate learning experiences and age appropriate instruction in one or more of the following areas. So the first one is oral expression. It is a skill um, that a person can really express their thoughts by saying it or by speaking to other person. So for those person who have struggled or have a difficulty or disorder, they are having difficult to express their thoughts or cannot even say it a word. Then the next is listening comprehension skills, where um, a child cannot control how quickly speakers talk and cannot speak. I cannot repeat the words, or it can just cause critical difficulties. So there are some students that are good enough in listening, even they're just sitting on a chair and they're just listening. They can easily understand what the teachers are saying. So yeah, so how sad for those who have this disorder. Then the next is reader expression. So a while ago I just mentioned about the oral expression, where they can express their thoughts through speaking or saying it to other person. So the written expression is a child can express their thought by writing. So there are so many people who became um, famous because of the writing. They are good at writing, expressing their thoughts fluently. But those who have disorder, they really struggle in writing. They can just they cannot even finish one sheet of paper to write those thoughts. So how sad for them as well. The next is the basic reading skills, where a child can read the basic, especially the alphabets. They can read it easily, especially the grade one can read that. But for those who have learning disability in reading, the child affects affects them to decode and comprehend the word. So they are having a hard time to read those basic things. And another is reading comprehension, where there are many students who are good at comprehending in reading. They easily understand what they read, and but there are some students who struggle, especially those who have disorder. They struggle to understand the story or the statement or the instruction given by their teacher. So the next is mathematical calculation and reasoning. So there are some students that they struggled numbers, especially in calculation. Me myself, I hate math, but yeah, I really tried so hard to like um, learn it all. But yes, it's not a hindrance though. We can still learn from it. Okay, so the next one is, yes, this one. The second one is does not make adequate progress to meet age or grade level standard in one or more of the prior areas identified. When utilizing the process of child's response to empirically based interventions, or a pattern of weakness and strengths have been determined to exist in performance, achievement, or both relative to age, state approved grade level standards, or intellectual development as determined by certified assessment professionals. So yes, but so far um, there are still students who have disorders that um, who have not yet a interventions that have made. Um, so basically, so we people here, for those who have learning disability, we just guide them in learning things, like helping them to read, or like helping them to write, or helping them to, in their modules. So that's a way of helping them to learn. But though we tried so hard in helping them to learn, it doesn't mean that they already have that progress. Actually, I have this nephew that he's already 9 years old, but still having a hard time to read and understand the story or the statement he reads. So how sad for him. I wish he could learn fast, that it is according to the age level he is right now. Okay, so the next is, interestingly, there is no clear, widely accepted definition of learning disability. Because of the multidisciplinary nature of the fields, there is ongoing debate on the issue of a definition, and currently at least 12 definitions appear in the professional literature. There are several technical definitions offered by various health and education sources. Overall, most experts agree on the following descriptions. The first one: individuals with learning disability have difficulties with academic achievement and progress. So that is true. Those students have learning disability um, have low grades, and discrepancies exist between a person's potential for learning and what that person actually learns. Next, individuals with learning disability show an even pattern of development, such as language development, physical development, academic development, and perceptual development. So all those things that I mentioned are not balanced. Some, like for example, a child one, or Anna, um, um, a good he she is good at language, or good at speech, but yeah, but he she is not excelling in development of physical or even academic. So like just like that. Another, learning problems are not due to environmental disadvantage. Yeah. And next, I'm sorry, I have a headache. Yes, and then the next one is, learning problems are not due to mental retardations or emotional disturbance. Then, learning disability can affect one's ability to read, speak, spell, compute. They also can affect a person's attention, memory, coordination, social skills, and emotional maturity. So that is true. Um, if a child don't have those disability, they probably can learn freely, or probably there's no hindrance in learning. Okay, then yes, and the next one is, individual will individuals with learning disability have normal intelligence or are sometimes even intellectually gifted. So we don't know those child that struggled in reading but good at singing or good at dancing or maybe they are good at math or science just like that. We don't know. Now other individuals with learning disability have differing capabilities with difficulties in certain academic areas but not in others. Yes. Then the learning disability have an effect on either input, the brain ability to process incoming information, or output, the person's ability to use information in practical skills such as reading, math, spelling. Yeah. Then the next one, or actually this is the last part, bullet point. When a child has a learning disability, he or she may exhibit the following characteristics. So here it goes. The characteristic for those who have learning disability. The first one is have trouble learning the alphabet, rhyming words, or matching letters to the sounds. Then, then make many mistakes when reading aloud and repeat and pause often. Then not understand what he or she reads. They have low comprehension. Have real trouble with spelling. So probably um, the spelling or the words or the letters are scrambling while she is thinking about the words or the letters. So that's why he got a misspell. And there are some who have very messy handwriting or hold a pencil awkwardly. So there are some students who are not good at writing. Okay, so they use to make mistakes. So that's why their papers are messy to look at. Then the next, struggle to express ideas in writing. Yes, there are some students are good at speaking, but yes, there are some students struggle to express ideas in writing. So a while ago, I already said that learning this ability varies from each other. Okay, learn language late and have limited vocabulary. So my son is already 3 years old but still cannot speak a sentence or cannot speak a phrase but only word. Okay, like mama, papa at a young age. But there are some 3 years old child or kids can can really say a sentence. So yeah, and that is one of the example of someone or a person who have learning this ability. Yes. Then uh, have trouble remembering the sounds that letters make or in hearing slight difference between words. So yeah. So there are some students that having a trouble in remembering the sounds that letter makes. Then have trouble understanding jokes, comic strip, and sarcasm. So have you ever observed someone like she gave a joke, but the but those person can't can't go with you laughing, it's because he don't understand you. He did not um, comprehend to what you say. So yes, that's it. Yeah, another. Ooh. Have trouble following directions, mispronounce the words, or use a word that sounds familiar. Hmm. Another, have trouble organizing what he or she wants to say, or not able to think of a word needed for writing or conversation. Then, now follow the social rules of conversation, such as taking turns and may stand too close to the listener. Confuse math symbols and misread numbers. So, um, actually, there are so many people, and I'm also confused math, especially when there's a lot of problems, especially those symbols, and it's like um they just scramble at all in my mind. Then, not able to retell a story in order. So yeah, it happens. Then, not know where to begin a task or how to go on from there. Yes, it's already. I actually I have a friend like that. That she tells me, "Oh, I don't know where to begin." Not siya. Yes, and then the next one is oh, okay. So the next part is will be reported by will be the next part is the report of General Paliharo, and then the last part is will be reported by Joanna Olendan. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. I hope you learn from me. Okay, bye.